What if I say Lazarus Effect has Donald frickin' Glover in the cast? I knew you wouldn't believe it. Look at him. Damn it, Glover. You can't be amazing in everything you do. Time and time again, he sets new standards, redefining the mediocrity in Hollywood. But have you ever wondered why the word Lazarus is so often associated with bringing the dead back to life? No worries. We've got you covered. In this video, we'll take you through the world of zombies and necromancers. As I said, this whole Lazarus effect revolves around bringing the dead back to life. But hey, you can't go against nature. And if you do, then you'll have to pay a big price. Now, what's so special in this? Necromancers, perhaps? Nope, that's when magic shows its spark. And when science talks, we see demons tag along with the body resurrected. To make this farce kind of a thing, at least borderline believable, all masters of the fate of the story came up with something they thought was $1 million thing. They literally sucked us into half an hour of science mumbo jumbo. Now that you got the vibe of the movie, do you guys think explaining how all that resurrection technique is supposed to work is needed? Well, that's the last thing I'd wish for. Just go all techie on me with a few science words here and there, and I'll be set. To be honest, there was some character development, or at least they attempted, lol. Caught up in all this means if you'd also realize that there's another subplot going on, then hands down, you're awesome. For those who clearly missed out on it, the subplot is a corporate takeover thing. And at this point, I really don't care. The film is slow to start, but once Zoe, played by Olivia Wilde, dies and is revived, things get heated up pretty quickly. And that is when, my friends, the Lazarus Effect, it's a beautiful sweet spot of tension. It was slow as a snail. And by that even I stopped myself from freaking out. Clearly, it's not my type, I guess. Does this movie vibe with you? Let me know in the comments below. No, really, let me know in the comments below if this movie vibed with you. Coming back, it isn't clear what's wrong with Zoe, but there has to be something, right? So a science team led by Frank, played by Mark Duplass, was headed to figure out what the hell was going on. Don't you think Olivia Wilde has put on a wonderful performance? Wait, is it just me? Or do I even think she's just time and time again proving she's mediocre at best? Well, empty movies make more noise. By the way, what do you guys think about her? It's really unfortunate. Zoe becomes a divided character, didn't she? Well, we knew it. On one hand, she's at times innocent, confused, and scared, kinda, aware of the evil building inside of her. And on the other hand, she's cold and soulless. Worse, she has a wicked grin on her face, as if she knows she's in control. It is creepy, I must say. Speaking about Mark Duplass, he, however, doesn't stand a chance against Wilde's level. Dude, he is the hero of this movie. Would you believe that? I mean, he looks unconvincing as a lead hero. The rest of the crew isn't even that compelling either. Clay, played by Evan Peters, stands out. Curtsy to most of his frantic yelling. These scenes gave me the heebie-jeebies, I must accept. The second act soars with all the built-up tension and mystery, and then comes the final act. In many horror movies, you'd expect the bad guy to win, don't you? And we secretly wish for them to win. It's such a guilty pleasure, I must say. Well, sometimes I want the bad guys to win. They kill off the group one by one. Perhaps the final member survives and kills the monster miraculously. Think of the Freddy Krueger or Jason series. Yeah, just like that. But don't you get the vibe that the soon-to-be dead folks have a puncher's chance? It's just that you get that small feeling. They can potentially figure out some way to stop the slasher killer. Not the case in the Lazarus Effect. Once Zoe's nature and powers become clear, that was all she needed up until that time. When Frank, Zoe, and their team took matters into their own hands, I sensed things would go crazy. What were they thinking when they were laughing themselves into a rogue attack? All that just to recreate their experiment? Not to forget what horror could happen during the experiment. Things can go terribly wrong, and it did go wrong. That was when Zoe was horrifically killed, fueled by terror and grief. Frank pushes them to do the unthinkable. Guess what? A freaking attempt to resurrect the first human. I know, right? Sounds completely weird. Initially, the procedure appeared to be a success, but the team soon realized something was wrong with Zoe. What did they think would happen without citing them anything? If they did, then they're clearly delusional. A strange new persona reveals itself. The team quickly becomes stuck in a gruesome reality. They're no longer faced with the question of whether they can bring someone back to life, but rather, the wrath of her return. Yeah, you heard it right. Did you guys think they would have made it out alive? Especially from an eerie place like that? Lord, I never once did. What else can I say? The film became much less interesting. However, the kills themselves are unusual and vaguely interesting, and I slipped into a zombie state. Unlike all those characters and their backstories. Thanks to a wonderful performance by Olivia Wilde, the movie hit a horror sweet spot in the middle. Unfortunately, it doesn't last very long. It's still enjoyable, though it isn't going down in any history books. Olivia Wilde is great at being creepy. Rest is bland and unmemorable. What is a good movie and what's a bad movie? What kind of movie is it? Gives it all. I choose to see through the lens that movies are works of art. The movie has got critics would be an understatement. There was backlash on Twitter, Reddit, and major platforms. Let's see what they have to say, shall we? The Lazarus Effect received generally negative reviews from critics. Their review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, reported a 17% approval rating, based on 96 reviews and an average rating of 3.8 out of 10. The site reads, "The Lazarus Effect has a talented cast and the glimmer of an interesting idea, but wastes it all on insipid characters and dull, recycled plot points." On Metacritic, the film has a score of 31 out of 100, based on 29 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. According to CinemaScore, audiences gave the film a grade of C on an A+ to F scale. I enjoyed the premise. I had some genuinely creepy imagery, and it had some of my favorite actors in it. DAMNIT GLOVER. Even though we see what happens to you in the trailer, you still did a good job. Evan Peters should be in more comedies. Mark Duplass, keep on doing what you're doing. And Olivia Wilde, please play more crazy psycho roles. You fit that perfect. Lazarus did have many flaws though. Many will disagree, but I thought this was a pretty solid horror film. Hopefully Unfriended isn't a complete bag of shit. So, would you agree with the saying? Not every filmmaker is trying to make art, just like every author isn't trying to win the Nobel Prize in literature. I believe so. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribe for more updates.